Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we're going to be looking at the entry-level package on the Chevy Silverado. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout-out and thank you to the Larry Miller Chevy here in Provo for giving me some time with this truck. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2.7 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 17 around town and then 20 on the highway, with power outputs being 310 horsepower and then 430 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, I really like this gray color on the truck. I think it looks really sharp. We of course have the Turbo Max badge there on the hood, and this is really good looking for a base model truck. I mean, you can see here we do have baseline headlights and everything, but the grille's all blacked out, the bumpers are body painted. I mean, most, work truck packages like this will look not so good, so I think that's pretty impressive. And then around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275 by 60 by 20 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels completely blacked out, and then you got the Silverado badge there on the side. In the mirror caps, you can see just exposed plastic. Same thing with the door handles. Again, work truck, right? And then we do have leaf springs here in the rear. And then this is the shorter cab with the longer bed, which again is kind of more of like a work truck setup, which, a lot of people like, right? More practicality for storage space and not as much for people space. Now the key fob actually has quite a bit. Remote start, you got tailgate drop down, of course Chevy bow tie. But yeah, again, on a base truck, this is pretty impressive. Now I've got protection here. Nothing on the bed, but that's something that's always easy to add after the fact. And then we actually have lights here in the bed too, which is nice. We got an outlet. Here's a better angle on that light, by the way. And with the tailgate, it's very light, so it's easy to put into place. I don't feel like that locked all the way. Anyways, more baseline taillights. You can see Chevrolet stamped in. It's all blacked out. You got the bumper steps and everything. So yeah, again, on the exterior, it's good looking. Like, seriously, again, remember, this is basically a work truck, but it's a work truck that doesn't look so work trucky. And now this leads us inside. So you can see a little bit more basic with the material use. And we got the cloth seats here. Too bad. Grab handle helps out with getting in. Man, is it tight back here. Ugh. So yeah, my knees are against the seat, but storage pocket. We got some vents here in the rear as well. At least headroom's good, so it's got that going for it. And this leads us up front. So again, you can see more basic with material use. We've got all of our window controls here, mirror adjustments. Let's quick look at the mirrors themselves. And then down below you can see $18.95 for the payload capacity. And then towing, if you're wondering, is 9,000 pounds. Wow. There's the front seat. Again, you got all that cloth. Got our adjustments here on the side. It's power, by the way. You got your tow haul mode here. We've got just a 4-wheel drive system, no 4-wheel drive low, so that is one downside, but you do have auto, which is nice. Got your light controls here. Let's see for the parking brake as well. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see a little more basic with material use, and then we basically just have cruise control. That's it for the controls on the steering wheel. Turn signal / windshield wiper stock. We've got a column shifter here for the 8-speed, and notice it can be shifted manually if you want. Gauge cluster, mostly analog. We do have this that we can use to scroll through different items on it. But yeah, simplistic, something that's gonna last, right? Because it's not all this crazy techie stuff. Backup camera in reverse, trajectory lines turn with the steering wheel, pretty good resolution. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's quick to respond. You can see you've got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You've got a little shortcut bar there at the bottom. And then down below you've got some physical controls for like the home screen, your volume control and all of that. Single zone climate. Got this for the lane departure, your auto stop start, tailgate drop down, hazard lights, stability control, trailer brake controls. You got all of our little charging ports. Full outlet too. That's nice. And then we do have center console here on the little bench seat setup, which this is always nice. Yeah. Ah! Tripod got in the way. Anyways, we do have a double glove box. Just another feature. More basic with the material use, but we do have a manual mirror dimmer. And then no center, but good headroom. There's quite a bit of glare on the window sticker, but yeah, I can't even see it from here. 49,000. There's so much glare. 49,880 is the MSRP. Looks like. Let's see how it performs. Well, let us talk about visibility. So the hood, both the mirrors, the rest of the rear, and let us set off in the Silverado Custom. It's cool that Chevy offers kind of a cool looking base model truck. I mean, Ford does with the STX, but it's more expensive. Ram does with that kind of like blackout package on the tradesman, but guess what? It's more expensive. So one thing that Chevy does have in this segment is that the truck is more affordable than the competition for their kind of entry-level truck. But it also does have the smallest, not smallest engine technically, but least number of cylinders, because Ford's got 2.7 liters, so same displacement, but V6, and then Ram has the 3.6 liter V6 in theirs. But this has more power than Ram's V6, not as much as Ford's. Well, more torque than Ford's, because Ford's is 325, 400. This is 310, 430. So a little bit more torque than the Ford with the V6. But something to note, the Ford with the V6 does get better fuel economy. So that is another little difference there. But yeah, seats are, you know, firmer. It's kind of like a Chevy thing, just to have firmer seats in general. But the interior on this is, again, got that durable feel, which, I don't know, I like it. I think that it's a cool setup overall. And I like how many features this comes with too. Like, you got the trailer brake controls, you've got power seats, like a lot of stuff that you wouldn't expect in a more baseline truck this actually has. And maybe that's Chevy making up for the fact that they put a 4-cylinder in a truck, maybe. But still, it's cool that it has it all. Oh yeah, torque is great. Yeah, that's solid. And for a 4-cylinder, it's not bad. It is not bad at all. I feel like the turn signal stock was extended out, but I guess it wasn't. So, to sum things up with this custom Turbo Max, I think this is a really cool package. I think that we need more trucks like this, right? We need more basic trucks that look good, because nobody wants to be driving around in, you know, like the work truck look. Let me see if I can find. I don't really have anything that's. I don't have anything that's basic, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, the basic work truck look is white truck, white paint, and someone took my parking space. What? Anyways, white truck with like the silver rims. There we go. There's actually one right there. That kind of look, right? It's not the worst thing on the planet, but I don't know. It's kind of like boring. Whereas this, with the kind of like battleship gray and everything, it looks cool. This is like a truck that, if I don't know, if I saw this and I knew nothing about cars, I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't think it's necessarily top of the line because it's got halogen lights. I would say, oh, it doesn't have fancy lights, but I'd say that's a pretty fancy truck. It's a pretty fancy looking truck. It looks more expensive than you'd think it would be in the lineup. But anyways, let me guys think about the Silverado Custom here with the Turbo Max and all of that. But I think this is a really solid offering in the base truck segment. The only thing that I could see some people complaining about is the 4-cylinder engine. But, you know, do your research on the engine. You know, look at owner reviews and everything, and some of you might change your mind on it.